Aloha and welcome back to another evening at Wisdom River Lodge. Got it, guys. It's good to be here tonight, and the first thing I want to do is welcome back one of our crew members. Satara is back from Australia, and it looks like she had a pretty good time, and we're happy to have her back on the show, though. So. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Oh, all right. Let's see. Announcements here. Next show is going to be August 4th. Again, the first and third Tuesdays of the month. We're on live. We are a half-hour show, so if you have a question or you want to talk about some psychic aspect or something, you've got a Reiki healing type question, give a call, but don't wait because the show's going to be over at 8:30. And we are live. The number is 664-4408. So please, if you have questions or you want to talk, give us a call. The next spirit circle that we're doing, I should tell you about the first spirit circle that we did over at the Houghton Mansion, and I've been told that some of you might not recognize it as the Houghton Mansion. It is the Masonic Temple as well, but I'm working out of the Houghton Mansion, not out of the temple itself. The Houghton Mansion, which is really, really haunted, and we had our first spirit circle there, and it was pretty cool. We did get some physical phenomena, we got some rapping, and we got a lot of etheric energy going about the area. And if you go, Actually, I think if you go on Facebook and go to Wisdom River Lodge, you can actually see some photographs that were taken during that circle that show some of the things that we saw there. So it was really, really very exciting. And the next circle that we're going to do there is August 14th. And it's $20 to get in, but it's well worth it because the mansion has quite a significantly tragic history, and there are spirits that are moving about there. And I had the great pleasure of being a guest at the next evening at a sleepover that they run there at the mansion with some people from some paranormal groups, and that was a lot of fun. And we're uncovering more and more psychic information about that particular area, and we're working to try to substantiate some of that. So come on out. It's a lot of fun. People are nervous about it, but you know what? There's nothing's going to happen to you sitting in that circle that isn't going to happen to you when you're sitting at home. And that's because I run white light circles. There's nothing negative about it. It's all for our being able to just communicate with loved ones who have crossed over and to learn and be able to understand the spirit world a lot better. One of the women who was there was very skeptical and made a connection with her grandfather that if I'm not mistaken, has been a very comforting thing for her. So it's really a lot of fun, and it's a good thing to do. Now, along that lines, come fall, we're going to be probably doing psychic development classes at the mansion as well. So you want to watch the website, and you want to watch the show, and we'll keep you posted about that. So we're working to set the dates for a bunch of activities that'll be coming up. So just watch. Now, 664-4408 is the call-in number. We're here live in the studio right now. So if you have questions, comments, concerns, please call. The homework from 2 weeks ago. Again, I'm giving away pendulums to anybody who calls in, tells me what the homework was, and then tells me a little bit about their experience with that homework. So give me a call. The pendulums are really pretty nice, and they're a lot of fun to dowse with. And if you don't know how to use a pendulum, call in anyway, because I can send you instructions with it if you need them. So now we'll put that challenge out there. The other challenge is if you see me out on the streets, walking the dogs, over at Walmart, out to Dunkin' Donuts, you never know where in town you might find me. Walk up to me. I carry one pendulum in my pocket a day for anybody who walks up and says to me, hey, I saw you on TV. I've actually given a couple of those away in the last week, so feel free. Now, tonight, we're going to be working more on this good and evil thing that we started last time around. And it was kind of an overview on things. And since that show, I actually have gotten a couple of questions on the website. And one of them was, well, how do you explain stuff that doesn't appear to be good? And I was talking with my guides and kind of struggling with how to put that in words as opposed to feelings and knowing and the psychic information that I get. And I was watching a movie not too long ago and was given the words through the movie. So here's how I'm going to explain this. When we're here on the earth, we're all like little dots. And there's a whole genre of painting that is done with dots, or even what's that? Is the guys who paint with the dots. But I mean, you can go into art museums and these classical paintings are done and they're dots. When you step back away from the painting, you see the whole picture. But when you step up to the painting, you recognize that these are all just dots. And our world is very much like that, and we're the dots. The circumstances of our lives are the dots. We are so close to the dots that they just don't make any sense to us. But I can't help but know that from the higher power's perspective, or God's perspective, or whatever you call that higher thing that moves this universe, from that perspective, everything makes sense. So when you find yourself challenged with a situation that doesn't appear to be a positive situation, try to remember that you're just too close to the dots to understand the purpose of this situation at this point. And maybe that will help. We don't always understand the purposes of things, but the divine plan is well aware of the purpose. So, and like I was saying 2 weeks ago, we don't know that something that happens today, 20 years from now, isn't going to have prepared us for something something else. So it may seem bad today, but in 20 years, that situation may turn out to have been a good situation after all. So, one of the other questions I got on the website was a question about how do the person wanted to know how to distinguish receiving psychic information from their imagination, and they were had an experience where they thought that they were imagining something, and then later thought that maybe it could have been a psychic experience. But how do you know the difference? And the way I was taught is that psychic information very much does feel like our imagination. The difference is that psychic information is persistent. if I'm getting a message for someone and I'm thinking it's my imagination, I might not tell them the message that I'm getting. That message isn't going to go away until I give it. So it's persistent. It's going to stay there and stay there and stay there until you do something about it. Now the other way to tell is that when we imagine, we're in control of what's going on. And if you stay with the information that you're getting long enough, at some point it's going to take a twist that you could not have predicted. And you're going to be surprised by the information. That's another way to know that the stuff coming through is psychic information and not just something that you're making up in your head. So great questions, and I'm tickled that people are starting to really start to talk and get on the website. So keep up the good work, and nobody's got the homework yet? Oh, come on, a free pendulum? 664-4408. Gee, I wish I could, Well, give a holler. Anyway, so more on good versus evil here. You know, this is good and evil it's a judgment. And it's a judgment process on a spectrum. Now, most people are used to light spectrums where we start with red and end in the violet and just keeps wrapping around through. And that's kind of the spectrum that I'm talking about. And we have good on one end, and then we move through various stages all the way out to what some people call evil. And we do have a phone call. Can I pick it up now? Go ahead, pick it up, he says. Hi, this is Laura.
Oh, hello. I just want to know, the question I have is, okay, you were saying that how do you know when it's a psychic feeling that you have or when it's not? And when it comes to dreaming, what do you know? How do you know if you've had a prophetic dream or not? Sometimes dreams can be really strange, and if you pay attention to them, they're telling you something. And sometimes they're really nothing. I have a problem with that. Some of the dreams that I have, I don't know what they are. They confuse me, and it takes me weeks to figure it out.
Could I just have your first name?
Jane.
Jane. Hi, Jane.
Hi.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
Dreams can be a little tricky. You're right. And a lot of times dreams are our body's way of just kind of cleaning house and getting rid of things. Mm-hmm. But again, the persistence is one thing that you want to pay attention to. If you have a dream and you remember it,
yeah,
and it keeps nagging at you and nagging at you and nagging at you.
Yeah.
Generally, that's more than just a dream. Generally, that's got psychic information in it for you.
Yeah. Well, sometimes when I have them, they come in just as I'm going to sleep.
Absolutely. That's the time that the psychic information comes in.
Yeah. And that's when it comes in, and sometimes it takes me weeks to figure out what it was. When I think I've got it right, it's not right. And when you don't have anybody to talk to about it, it's a battle. It confuses me. But yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. When it's persistent.
It is very persistent, and it sounds like we could give you some help in developing what's called a symbol library, where the symbols that you receive in dreams mean something. Like I know when I dream about certain things, when I dream about one of my grandfathers, I know that means that people are going to be arriving, and that might seem rather esoteric, but usually when I dream about my grandfather, that means that somebody I know is coming to see me, and they haven't called me to tell me yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
So what I would suggest that you do, Jane, is get yourself a notebook and start picking out symbols that you're having in your dreams. Like if you're dreaming about water, what does that mean to you? You know, if you're dreaming about, somebody was telling me about a dream in which they were driving the other day.
Oh, wow.
And driving usually means that they're trying to be in control of something. Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So, you know, if you start keeping track of those and writing them down, then they become more a part of you, and they're easier to remember, and then it makes it easier for you to interpret your dreams.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I've been thinking about that for a long time now. I was always keeping a diary,
right?
A book next to my bed, so when I wake up, I could write these down.
Right.
So that I could look at it again and again until I figure it out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And sometimes, you know, spirit, their time is very different than our time. So they may see something that's coming up 5 months from now, and they're telling you today, thinking, you know, that you need to know today. But so if you write those things down, then 5 months from now, when it actually happens, you can look. You'll probably go, "Hey, wait a minute! Didn't I write something about this?" And you'll be able to go back and be able to see that.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah. Dream journals are a great thing.
Yeah, I really should be starting to do that. I've been wanting to do it for years, but I always forget. And then I just try to avoid it.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, who wants to be writing in a journal at 3 o'clock in the morning, right?
No, really. I know. I just want to go back to bed.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Although 3 o'clock seems to be the witching hour for me, so
yeah, it is.
Yeah. There's something
hour.
to that about where the veil is. I think it must be the thinnest that time of night.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But
a lot of people say 3 in the morning is.
Yeah. So now, do you have access to a computer?
Yeah, I do.
If you go on the internet and just type in something like dream symbols. You know, they'll start you on your dictionary of dream symbols. You'll find so many different symbols for dreams. And, you know, what I suggest to people who are starting these types of dictionaries for themselves is use only the definitions that make sense to you.
Yeah.
You know, if say they say that a car could be that you're in control, or a car could be, I don't know, something totally absurd, like you're Chinese, or that you're something that you're not, or, you know, I don't even know what. Take what makes sense to you.
Right.
Use what makes sense to you, and just let the others go. And as time goes by, you'll build up your dictionary for yourself.
Okay. All right.
And that'll make it easier for you to do it.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Cool.
I'll go online and start looking for symbols.
All right.
Dream symbols.
And if you need somebody to talk to about some of this stuff, my phone number's on the website. So, and the website's right on TV right now. So.
Okay, but so you can't give out the website?
It's wisdomriverlodge.com.
Okay. All right. Okay. I might do that.
Okay.
Might do that.
Good enough.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling, Jane.
Okay.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Cool. Yeah, it's amazing. You know, it's amazing the information that we get, and she's totally right. The 2 times that we tend to get psychic information through dreams is just as we're falling asleep. They call it twilight sleep, and there's a real reason for that. As we're engaging in twilight sleep, our brain is in what's called theta waves, and theta waves are the waves. the energy of the brain where we do our best learning. So Spirit's able to come in on those waves and speak with us. The other significant time that we get psychic information in our sleep is as we're coming up through sleep in the morning and cross through that theta threshold again. The two times you want to watch are as you're falling asleep and as just before you wake up. So they call it the twilight and the, I can't think of the term that they use for the one in the morning, but twilight sleep especially is a time when a lot of people get their psychic information. And again, for anybody who is getting any type of information, the hardest thing to do with psychic stuff isn't to interpret it. I use the example of I was doing a local show, and I was doing a reading for somebody, and I kept saying that something was close to her heart. See, I remembered not to hit my microphone here. Something was close to her heart, and I described a picture for her, and we couldn't tell what this was all about because I think she was a little too nervous at the fact that I had said, I have a message for you. She couldn't put it together. And I kept saying that it was close to her heart, close to her heart. Well, after the show was over, she comes running back into the room, and in her pocket was a picture, and I had described the picture to her, and it was literally close to her heart. We don't know sometimes whether things are figurative or literal, and then trying to determine, well, what is a car? And if you're driving it, what does that mean? And what does it mean if you're in the back seat? What does it mean if you drown? 4 or 5 people in the last couple of weeks have told me about dreams about drowning, and they were very, very distressed by these dreams. And yet, water is considered to be spirit, and drowning is considered to be born again into the spirit. And generally, when people have dreams about drowning, something's occurred in their lives that's advanced them some spiritually, and all they see is the thing that they drown, and they get nervous and upset. But it's actually not a bad thing to get this advance in this way. So good question, Jane. And I think what I'm going to do, seeing the time, is I'm going to answer Amy's question. And Amy wanted to know, with children, how do you tell the difference between an imaginary friend and spirit? Most imaginary friends are spirits. I would hazard to say that all imaginary friends are spirits. Children do not have the negative understandings of seeing auras and talking to invisible things that we have. Most children, especially children who are not in school yet, still see auras, still are able to have enough energy that they see spirit. I was babysitting my new child yesterday. He's probably 32 months at this point, and he's in the bathroom going, kitty, 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 kitty. There's no cat in front of him in the bathroom, and yet as I went by, I would have sworn that I had seen a cat, and turned out it was a spirit cat, and he was very much trying to get this cat to come to him. So children see and hear things that we have learned to discriminate out. And any of you who went to school and were drawing rainbows around people and were told, now, there are no rainbows around people. What you were actually drawing were auras. But because you were told that there aren't rainbows around people, it all works so that you stop seeing them. And anyway, I won't get into that. So, we didn't do much on good and evil so far tonight. But we've gotten a lot of questions answered tonight and done a lot of good things. And I'm thinking that maybe I want to change the homework for tonight. Let's change the homework for tonight. So the homework for tonight is going to involve dreams. Thank you, Jane. And what I want you to do is I want you to, if you can try to remember your dream. That's usually the first place to start. And to be able to remember your dream, when you are going to bed and you're actually laying down, set the intention that you will remember whatever dreams that you have. Now, you may have to do this a couple of nights in a row for it to work. But also keep paper and pencil or something to write with by your bed so that when you do remember the dream, you can write it down immediately. And you'll find that as you're writing, you'll remember more and more details of it. So the assignment, set the intention, remember a dream, write it down, interpret it. Work the dream symbols. If you're dreaming about a car, find out what that car means for you and your dream. If you're dreaming about water, what does that mean? If you're dreaming about a dog, what does that mean to you? If you're dreaming that you're walking in the clouds, whatever. Write these things down, and then on August 4th, I'm looking at the 8th and the August and going the 8th. On August 4th, give a call in and tell me a little bit about your dream and how you interpreted that and where you went to find your dream symbols, and then you will get the pendulum for that week. So give it a try, and again, set the intention. It may take you a few nights to be able to remember a dream if you're not used to remembering them. If you do remember them, then it should be easy enough for you to just start keeping a dream diary and go ahead with that. So we'll see you again August 4th, not the 8th, the 4th. And in the meantime, have a great 2 weeks, and we'll talk to you again. We'll keep the light on for you. Good night.